Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will see what to look for in a niche. While selecting a niche, it is important you should not spend too much time on this. Many people overanalyze and get stuck here. Don't let analysis paralysis keep you from getting this step completed quickly. You can make a steady income in just about any niche you choose as long as it satisfies a few key rules of thumb. Rule number 1, the niche should have scores upon scores of products being sold on Amazon.com. Most of these products should be selling for at least $50, and at least a handful of these should have more than 50 4 and 5-star reviews as well. You do not want to select a niche that has no products being sold on Amazon, but these days just about any niche you can think of has products being sold on Amazon. So this is really something not to worry about. It is also essential that the niche have at least a few products that are being sold for more than $50 on Amazon. If not, you might have a hard time making more than $500 or $1,000 a month in revenues from the site. Amazon pays a commission of around 1% to 5% for each product that you sell. It would be near impossible to build a site that can make more than $1,000 in commission every month if all of the products you are promoting on the site cost $5 or less. So you want most of the products in the niche to be at least $50 or more. $100 would be even better, but you do not want to take this too far and try to build a site solely around $1,000 plus products, like a site promoting super high end jewelry. Those products do not sell in large numbers like $50 and $100 products do. You would also want to consider how many reviews the best seller in the niche have. You want to see at least 50 to 100 reviews, more the merrier. Why is this important? Because you want to get a rough estimate of what the demand for these products are and how many units might be selling in any given time period. Not everyone who buys a product leaves a review. Only a tiny fraction of buyers actually take the time to write a review, and people who had a bad buying experience are far more likely to leave a negative review, while most people who like the product never write a review. So if a product has 50 or 100 or more very positive reviews, it would mean people are buying it. And if a product has at least 100 reviews and most of them are 4 stars or 5 stars, it certainly means it is selling well and people are very happy with it. And happy customer will come back and buy more products from your site. So, rule number 2, you should be comfortable with working in the niche for at least 3 to 4 months. You do not have to be an expert in a niche or be very passionate about it. While expertise and passion would definitely help, they are not necessary. It is alright if you are comfortable working in the niche for at least 3 to 4 months, which is how long it would take you to build a 50 to 100 pages site and start generating a steady income from it. Assuming you will be writing all of the content, do not worry if you do not know much about the niche. At this stage, you can always research and learn all that you need to create a website in any niche. So, for the next rule, the niche should be big enough to support a site that's at least 50 to 100 pages in a size. These days, bigger authority sites tend to do a better in Google Your site should be at least 50 to 100 pages in size. When you are done with that, one common mistake many do is selecting a niche that is just too small. You would be hard pressed to build a 100-page site about just golf balls under $10. On the other hand, golf balls would be great as a niche. You will be able to find lots of products to sell and can easily build 100-page websites. These are the only three rules that you need to select a niche. Many people overcomplicate this simple process and take days or even weeks to select a niche. That kind of effort is not necessary. As an Amazon affiliate, you will be building several websites in various niches. So it's not like there are only a few good niches out there and you have to find the best of them. In truth, there are literally millions of niches. You can build profitable websites in, and all you need to do is choose one and get going. This is possibly the single biggest mistake beginners make while selecting a niche. They do not check how the demand for products in the niche varies over a year. You do not want to spend 3 or 4 months working on a site that generates revenues for only 2 months in a year. That can be very demoralizing. You want to create niche sites that generate revenues all year around. Demand for certain goods and services vary over a year according to the season. For instance, if you are selling snow shovels, you know for certain that the demand is going to peak in winter and fall to near zero over the summer months. Likewise, swimwear and bathing suits sell very well in summer and the demand falls steeply come winter. And like products regarding to Halloween and etc. sell extremely well in September and will most likely have near zero demand in say February. It's the same with several other niches as well. Demand peaks only during certain months of the year and drops to near zero during the other months. If you do not take the time to analyze if such demand pattern exists in your niche, then you might be in for an unpleasant surprise. If after building out your site you discover you missed a peak buying season by a month and you will have to wait for 9 to 10 months before demand picks up again. No, not every niche is seasonal, but some are. Designer clothing, maybe computer accessories, high end cosmetics, and electronics, and many other products that sells all year round. If you build sites in these niches, you can expect a steady stream of sales every month all year around. On the other hand, like prom dresses, swimwear, heavy coats, sweaters, etc., and the like, these products are just seasonal. The demand peak for maybe 1 or 2 months, and afterward, the demand is flat. Some folks are completely unaware of the seasonal nature of a niche they picked. Do the keyword research during the peak buying season for the niche, build out their site, build a lot of links, and even rank for the phrases they wanted to rank for when they initially started out, and then they discover their site is getting to no traffic. That certainly is not a pleasant situation to be in, which is why you need to take the time to figure out if a certain niche you happen to choose is seasonal or not. In this video, we will see how to use Google Trends to see the demand patterns that exist for every niche. This is simply the best way to see how demand for products in the niche varies over the course of a year. The URL you need to go to is trends.google.com. Let us now see what kind of demand pattern you should expect if you are going to build a site selling golf balls. You type golf balls into this text box at the top of the screen and push enter. While looking up information on trends on any topic, you want to make sure you select United States from this drop down, as it's the US market your affiliate sites will most likely be targeting. What we are now seeing is historical demand over the past years. While the graph does not tell you how many searches per month the phrase golf balls has in Google, it does show you the trends. We will get to that part later. You can change the time period for which trends are displayed from this drop down. You can see the demand reaches its peak in summer and then falls during the winter months before peaking again in December and then falls steeply until the next summer. This is kind of what you would expect. Now let's try to see what the pattern is like for Callaway golf ball, which is a very popular brand of golf balls also. Let's check the demand pattern for 2019. You can see the demand pattern is virtually identical to what we found for the niche golf balls in the beginning. If you were to build a site about golf balls, you would expect to make the most sales in the summer months around June and July. Then sales would fall during the winter months. Sales would rise again during late November and early December, which is the period here you can see in the graph. You could also be sure of one thing: your site will be making sales all around the year. There is no discontinuity or break in this graph. So golf balls sells all year around, but the demand is more in the summer months and during December. So sales will be at their maximum during these 3 or 4 months in a year, but you will have sales all year long. You can see the same is true for Nike golf ball as well. If we search here Nike golf balls, you can see the same pattern. Now let's check what the graph looks like for golf clubs. You can see the pattern is very similar to golf balls. The demand is maximum during the summer months and much lower rest of the year. The thing you would want to know is that the demand for golf clubs does not peak in December. It actually seems very low in December. I don't know about anything about golf. If you are someone who knows the niche inside out, you would be able to tell why this occurs. Now let's take a look at something entirely different. Raincoats. And this is what the pattern will look like for 2019, as we have already selected. As you can see, demand exists throughout the year, but it peaks in late September and early October and stays high for the rest of the year. This is the 5-year trend. For diamond rings, demand peaks during late November and stays high in December and then falls steeply in July. See the graph here. It peaks again just before Valentine's Day and then falls, but it has fallen steeply during 2020. The demand was at its all-time low in April 2020. For gold certificates, if we search in the text box for gold certificates, we will see that the demand for gold certificate exists throughout the year. If you had an affiliate site selling gold certificates or something related to gold certificates, you could expect to see a steady stream of sales throughout the year. Now, as we have seen that diamond jewelry and gold certificates are mostly sold throughout the year. Now let's look at the kitchen faucets. The demand for kitchen faucets exists throughout the year, but come December the demand shoots up and stays that way till early January. The demand has been especially high throughout 2020, except for this dip in the third week of March 2020. Likewise, the demand for kitchen island is more or less constant for the entire year, as you can see, and then increases very significantly during late December and early January. The pattern is very similar for kitchen knives. The only difference is the demand starts increasing significantly in late November and stays high for the rest of the year. The graph for the next item, if we search here, the graph for hair dye is kind of very interesting. As we write hair dye and press enter, this is the demand pattern for 2019. If we select the 2019 year from the drop down menu, so let's see, the demand is high for most of the year, but there is a surprising drop in mid November and it stays low until late December. The only guess I have is this, that during late November and early December, people are so caught up in preparing for Christmas, booking air tickets, buying presents, and all that, and they have no time to think about dyeing their hair. But when it's actually time to meet the relatives, the rush to buy hair dye, which is why the demand increases so significantly just before Christmas. This might not be true, but this is the only explanation I can think of, and this is the trend for the past 15 years. If we select the 15 years, we will see the trend for the last 15 years, which will give us the rough idea that what the demand looks like for the longer period in this same niche. The demand for hair dye hit an all-time high in April 2020. Now, the graph for bathing suit is just what you would expect. The demand is very low in early spring, then it starts increasing in March, then it's nosedive during April. I think the college have their exams at this time and most people have no time to think about bathing suits and vacations, etc. The demand reaches its maximum in summer months and then starts to fall steeply In winter, no one is interested in wearing these kind of suits and going to beaches. Now take a look at the graph for prom dresses. Demand is high during the months of January and April and falls steeply after that. It's very low for the rest of the year and starts rising again during late December. If you had a site selling prom dresses that made $1,000 a month in April, you would be very lucky. If you made $200 in June, let's see the graph of Halloween costumes. The demand for Halloween costumes exists only during late August to October for about, if you calculate the 11 weeks. If you had a niche site that sold only Halloween costumes and nothing else, it would make money only during 11 weeks of the year. For the rest of the year, it would have near zero revenues. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing. There are a lot of people who build sites that generate revenues only for a few weeks in a year. All I am saying is this should not be a surprise for you. If you are going into a niche like this, a niche that is seasonal, you should do so while being fully aware that your site will be generating revenues only for a few weeks or months during the year. This should not come as a surprise to you. If you have taken the time to study the demand patterns for the niche before you build the site, you will know what the graph looks like and what you can expect. Then there will be no surprises and you will be fully aware. Similarly, demand for Easter eggs exists only during March and April. For the rest of the year, demand is very low. By now, you should have a very good understanding of why you need to check if the niche is seasonal or not. In this video, we will see another parameter that is overlooked all too often, called regional interest. While you can get to know how the demand for a product or service changes over the year with Google Trends, there is another vital piece of information you need to look at: whether the product or service is popular and in demand in the geographical location your Amazon affiliate site is targeting. Now, every product sells equally well all over the world. If you have built an Amazon site, then your Amazon affiliate site will be targeting the United States, and the US is the biggest market for almost every product you will find on Amazon. But this is not always the case. There are some products that sells better in countries outside the US. Assuming the United States is the biggest market out there for every product on Amazon could sometimes be a mistake. If your site is targeting a certain country, you want to be very sure the products you are selling are popular. Like in the previous video, we will be using Google Trends to gauge regional interest. You would want to note that there are many ways you can use the information these tools give you, but let's keep everything we are discussed here tightly focused on how to use all of this for your Amazon affiliate sites. So let's go to the trends.google.com and look up golf clubs. This time, instead of choosing to see the trends within the United States, let's select worldwide from this drop down. Scroll down a bit and you will see this section titled Interest by Region. You can use your mouse cursor over the map and here and see the relative levels of interest for various countries. There are some numbers here. Do not take these numbers. The actual search volume per month is not indicated here. These are more a measure of interest and awareness. The numbers are normalized and the search volume is not indicated. So you would want to see these numbers as a measure of interest and awareness in the topic across countries. As you can see, the greatest demand is outside the United States. Golf clubs can mean one of two things: a club that used to hit the ball, or an organization of golfers. You would always want to check if whatever you are searching for can have multiple meanings and try to be as specific as possible. If you scroll down further down the page, you can see several phrases that are related to golf clubs. These are topics Google considers are closely related to golf clubs. It's now become a lot more closely related to golf clubs, and these are related queries that have become very popular recently. You can also get to know the top search queries in this niche by clicking on this drop down and choosing top. Likewise, you can get the topics most closely related to golf clubs by clicking on this arrow and choosing top. Let's now check golf balls. When you type this query in the search box, Google presents you with this short list of options. It's asking you whether you are interested in seeing trends for the search term golf ball or the topic golf ball. The topic will include trends for all search terms related to golf balls. So it's an aggregate of several closely related search terms. While trends for the search term golf ball will be only about this particular phrase. So let's choose to see the trends for the search term. Let's see the word trends. For this search, if we see by scrolling down below, we will see that it's not the US, it's United Kingdom leads the pack. It is important to note that there is a lot of demand in other countries as well. It's getting very hard to sell any particular product in the US market because of the competition. You will want to check if you can sell it in any other country with less effort, and this is how you get to know where else you can select if you want to build a site selling golf balls. And if you did the competition research, which will be discussed later, and found the competition very hard to beat in the United States, you can you would want to check if you could instead target the United Kingdom, Ireland, Australia, or Canada instead. So let's now check raincoats for women. So we will type here raincoats for women, and as you can see, the demand is the greatest for this particular niche. If we select here worldwide, and we will see the demand for it is the greatest in Ireland. So it's not the United States at the top. If this is what you want to sell, you might be better off targeting the UK or Ireland instead of the United States. Similarly, Cadbury cream eggs sells better. If you scroll down below, we will see that which country is on top. So here we can see that Cadbury cream egg sells better in the United Kingdom than in the United States. If you are selling this, you might not even want to target the US market. The United States is not in the top 5 markets even for this product. And another niche which we can search is cements, which is a candy. This sells a lot in Portugal and the United Kingdom, and is not very popular in Spain as well, and is not very popular in the United States. As you can see, some products sells better in other parts of the world than the United States. Doing this check for regional interest is even more important if you are planning to build an affiliate site. In one of the previous videos, we discussed about the 3 rules every niche should satisfy. One of them was the niche should be big enough to support a 50 to 100 page website. You do not want to be targeting very small niches. We will now see how to use a keyword tool to generate niche ideas and see whether it can support a 50 to 100 page affiliate site. So we will use ubersuggest.com for this step. This is a tool that gives quite a bit of useful data for free, but it's not a totally free tool. You will need to sign in with your Google account, and once you are signed in with your Google account and go to the main page, so on the left navigation bar you can see the word keywords, and if we click on that we will see keyword idea in the left navigation panel, and you will need to enter your niche main keyword in this text box at the top of the page. You also want to make sure you are targeting the United States. So let's now check the golf balls. We want to know whether we can build a 50-page site if we were to go with this niche. This tool offers more than 500 ideas, keyword ideas. If you were to build a site around golf balls, each of these 500 keywords listed here can be an individual page. So in theory, you can build a site that's at least 500 pages in size. We will take a closer, more detailed look at keyword selection later, but right now we are only interested in checking whether we can build a 50 plus page sites in this niche. For any niche, to satisfy the 50 to 100 page rules, you will need to see at least 50 or 100 distinct phrases or subtopics. Each of these distinct phrases might be very closely related to the main phrase we search for, and each of these distinct phrases could become the focus keyword for a single page. So if you want to build a 50 page site, you want to see at least 50 phrases in this list here. 50 phrases that are very closely related with each other and are distinct. For this niche, the tool is giving us a list of more than 500 phrases, and virtually all of them are very closely related to the main topic, golf balls. So if you were to go with the niche, you can easily build a 50 to 100 page affiliate site because there are so many very closely related phrases in this niche, and you can build a page for each of these topics. So the niche idea golf balls passes this test. Now let's check this one. Cheap golf balls under $10. So the question we are looking here and we are looking to answer is whether you can build a 50 page site using this phrase cheap golf balls under $10. If you were to choose this as a niche, the tool presents, we will see that how many keyword ideas tool can present us. So we will type here cheap golf balls under $10 and search, and let's see what we can get. So if we search below, we get only 5 to 6 ideas. So you really can't build a site around this. There simply are not enough closely related phrases. This is too small a niche. You can also use this tool to generate awesome niche ideas. To do that, you need to type in a single keyword like supplies, accessories, and so on into the text box here and run a search. So you can see phrases like pet supplies if you scroll down below, plumbing supplies, office supplies, and so on and so on. For each of these phrases, you will be able to find products on Amazon that you can sell. For instance, if you do a search for pet supplies on Amazon, you will see there are a lot of products being sold, and each of these is a potential niche out on what you can build a site. Yes, of course, you will have to check whether these niches satisfy the three rules, but you can generate ideas this way for niches and then check whether these satisfies all of the three rules we discussed earlier. So you would also want to know that not every one of these phrases is this in this list might be a potential niche idea for you to build a site around. You can't build a site around supplies, meaning like our suppliers relation management. So you will have to go through this list and pick ones that seems appropriate. You can use this tool to generate excel in niche ideas all day long. Just type in a single word and any word you can think of and run a search and examine each of the phrases in the list. The best way to generate niche ideas for your Amazon affiliate sites is to use Amazon.com. There are a plethora of products that sell very well on Amazon, and you will be able to generate any number of niche ideas by looking at the products that are selling very well on their sites. You would want to search for Amazon best sellers. You can see there are several tabs here. Amazon organizes their bestseller list in several ways. So let's stick with the best sellers for now. On the left, you see a list of departments. These are very broad categories, and by clicking on any of these, you can dig down deeper into the category. Let's dig into the appliances category. The very first product we see is a portable ice maker machine. It's selling for about $99 to $317 and has more than 2300 customer reviews and has a rating of more than 4 stars. When you choose to promote a product, you always want to look at these three things. At the very least, how many reviews it has, the star ratings, and the price. You want a product to have at least 50 reviews and a 4-star rating, and you want the price to be at least $50. If the product has if the product does not have at least 50 reviews, it might mean it's still new, or might also mean people are not buying it for whatever reason. If the product does not have at least a 4-star rating, it might mean people are not happy with it, and unhappy buyer return products, which means you could lose commission if you promote them. And if the product is not selling for at least $50, your commission will not be very significant. There are exceptions to this though. If you have a $20 product that has hundreds of positive reviews, you might want to promote it. That said, we are doing this right now to generate niche ideas. We do not have to be overly concerned with particular products. Ice maker machines can be a potential niche idea which you might want to investigate further. So, if we go back to the list, you can see there are a lot of ideas you can generate. For instance, a mini portable washing machine. Take a look at the subcategories listed on the left. As we saw earlier, clicking on any of these will take you deeper into the subcategory. Each of these can be potential niche for your sites. So, if we click on the wall ovens, and if you wish to choose wall ovens as your niche, here are all of the products you can promote. There are hundreds of products listed in each category, and you will have plenty of products to choose from and promote on your site. You would want to spend some time looking at the bestseller list on Amazon. Just looking at all these products that are selling very well can help you come up with great niche ideas. So, going further, we will also be using eBay and Alibaba to generate niche ideas. eBay and Alibaba are really big e-commerce sites, and you can use them to generate niche ideas just as we did with Amazon. With very few exceptions, anything you can find on eBay will also be selling on Amazon. Let's discuss eBay now. There are so many categories listed on the home page. You see makeup sets here, fashion shoes, handbags, watches, gifts, furniture. There are so many ideas you can get just by looking at the home page. Clicking on any of these will take you deeper into the category and you will see individual products you can promote. Take a look at the menu at the top of the page. There are several broad categories listed. Click on any one to dig deeper. So, if we search auto parts accessories and the left navigation bar has subcategories, you can see several accessories here like tires, brakes, suspensions, lights, motorcycle parts. So, if we search, you can see that if you click on motorcycle parts, you can see that there are millions of individual parts here. On the left, you see several subcategories. You can easily build several niche sites around any one of these subcategories. This works the same way for just about any category of product you want to look at. Let's go back and now let's select fashion. On the left are listed several subcategories. You can choose any to dig deeper into the subcategory. See this menu that comes up. Let's select women's shoes. You see so many niche ideas here. So if we click on the heels, we go back and click on the heels, we will see that there are more than 2 million individual products. You can easily build several sites just around women's shoes. There is just so much stuff you can sell on your website here. Now, some of these products may be unique to eBay and you will not be able to find them on Amazon, but that's not what we are interested in. We are doing this to generate niche ideas, and Amazon will have products in just about any niche that you find on eBay. For instance, if you are not able to find this particular product or any of these particular products here on Amazon, if Amazon does not carry any of these particular products, you can still search Amazon for the broad niche we were looking at here, which is women heels. So let's check Amazon for women heels. As you can see that Amazon has almost more than, if we see here by searching, so we see that Amazon has more than 300,000 products in this category. What we are trying to do here is generate niche ideas, and women's heel is a possible niche. We are not interested in individual products right now, that will come later. Similarly, Alibaba.com can be a great source of niche ideas. You can see a partial list of categories on the home page, and clicking on this link will open another page with a more complete list beside each category. You can see the number of products listed in that category, and by clicking on view more, you will be able to see the complete list of all subcategories within each category. You can easily build several sites around any one of these subcategory. You can use just about any big e-commerce sites to generate number of niche ideas where you can build your Amazon affiliate sites, and there are more than millions billions of ideas. So visit and dig deep and search for your niche. In this video, we will see how to use free online databases to generate ideas for niche sites. There are several online databases that are open to the public. You can mine these for niche ideas. You could say Google itself is an online database, so mining online databases for niche ideas certainly makes sense. This does require a bit of lateral thinking, but this can be a lot of fun. Let's search for a list of online databases on Google. So as you can see, there are a lot of results for this search. So let's choose Wikipedia and open in the new tab. So the list here, if we go to the Wikipedia page, we can see that the list here is sorted alphabetically. So let's just scroll down the list and see what catches our eye. So if we scroll down below, you can see there are a lot of ideas. So for some reason this one here caught my attention. This is like, if you scroll down a bit below, you can see here is an option, inorganic crystal structure database. There are a lot of people who buy crystals online. So let's do a search on Amazon for crystals and see what comes up. So if we go to the Amazon page and search crystals right here in the text crystals and search, we will see that there are so many results for this search. You can easily build an affiliate site around crystals. Now what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word crystal? Wouldn't you see a picture of a crystal ball in your mind's eye? So let's do a search on for crystal balls here. So if we can search, we can see that almost more than 30,000 results for crystal balls. So you can easily build an entire site around crystal balls. There seems to be many kinds of crystal balls. So let's go back to the Wikipedia list. Let's say you really love comics. So if we check out these lists here on database about comics, there are a few databases on comics listed here. So let's check out the option Grand Comics Database. Just search in Google for the name of the database, Grand Comics Database. If we search here in Google, you will see that Grand Comics Database is a database of all printed comics throughout the world. There is a lot of material here. If we search, there is a lot of material here. So let's click on the link today's cover and you will see that there are so many comic books cover listed here. There are so many interesting topics like Mars attacks. What do you think about when you heard this title? Don't you need a telescope to watch Mars? So let's search Amazon for telescopes and see what we can get. So let's write telescope here in Amazon and search, and you can see there are so many results here, and you can easily build a site around telescopes as well. You would want to note that these techniques are brain starters. There are times when the brain seems to freeze and you simply can't seem to think of anything. These techniques are for times like that. They will get your brain working again and you will have lots of good ideas to pursue. So moving on, if you are like the most people, you must possibly find late night TV infomercials very annoying. Most people believe that products sold and these ads are worthless, but if you are a niche marketer who is on the lookout for great niche ideas, you would want to think twice before dismissing them so hastily. You see, a lot of these products are developed and marketed by giant corporations that spend millions of dollars to study the market, find niches, and develop products for those markets. So, a lot of very intelligent people have put in a lot of time and energy into these products that are hawked on late night TV. Maybe you can as well pick up an idea or two from their efforts. You would not have to buy any of those products or even believe in any of the outlandish claims. What we are interested in are niche ideas, and we can get them from these ads. Now let's watch some of these infomercials, and if we can search on YouTube for TV infomercials and scroll down below and see what kind of results we can get here. So by searching TV infomercials on YouTube, we can get a lot of ideas, and if we scroll down below and see what catches our eye, this one, the top 10 best infomercial products. So if we can open this link in a separate tab and see what kind of products these people are selling, and if we can get an idea or two from this ad. So see, these are some kind of knives and forks. Could that be a good idea for a niche? So let's head over to Amazon and do a search for kitchen knives. If we can write kitchen knives here and see what kind of results we will get. So as you can see that we there are a lot of results here. You can possibly build an entire site just around kitchen knives, or even about various kind of knives. There are so many kind of knives here. You could even do a site about forks. Let's see if we can get a few more ideas. This one is about chia pet. Could you build a site around that? Let's check with Amazon. So this looks like it can be a good candidate as well. If we can write here chia pets and see what kind of results we have. So there you go. So you might be able to build a site around chia pets, but we will have to do more research because there are so few results. Fact is, a lot of these infomercials are based on very solid research. Like any other marketers, these guys had to pick a niche and then the product. And if they think a particular niche which is so valuable that they develop the product and are now spending a lot of money marketing it, chances are you can build a site in the same niche as well. So let's explore some more ways to uncover niche ideas. But before we can get to, here is a caveat. Many seem to believe they have to love a niche and be an expert in order to be able to build a site. Well, that is not true. While it does help, if you love working in a niche, there will only be so many sites you can build. If you choose to build sites in only niches you love, after all, how many niches can someone really love and be an expert in? And to be very successful at niche marketing, you will have to build several sites, and very few people achieve significant success with just one or two sites. Like most things in life, this too is a numbers game. If one site makes you between $500 to $1,000 a month, wouldn't you want to build at least a handful of sites every year? You can't do that if you believe you need to be passionate about a niche to build a site on it. You want to approach this like journalists approach their work. They are not expert in all that they write about, but they are trained writers who knows how to present facts or with engaging stories around facts. If newspaper require journalists to be expert in all that they write about, most newspaper would struggle to stay afloat. That said, when you are building your first site, it does help to build it around something you love and are passionate about. But once you have built one or two sites, you would possibly need to look around for more niche ideas, even those that never was of the slightest bit of interest to you in the past. You may be able to build a site around things you really love doing or an expert in. You can uncover some ideas just by asking a few simple questions like, what is your job? What are you good at? What are your hobbies, interests, and passions? What were your interests when you were a few years younger? What is it you love to do with your free time? What are your friends, hobbies, and interests? Instead of focusing just on your own hobbies, which is bound to be a small number, you can instead focus on building sites about other people's hobbies. That way, you can have scores upon scores of potential ideas to look at. Here is a site you might want to explore. It's about popular hobbies. Discover a hobby.com. If you want to look at a much bigger list of hobbies, you might want to look at some other sites, like if we can think that Wikipedia page, there are so many hobbies listed. So if we can go to the Google and search list of hobbies, you will see that there will be a lot of results which we are getting, and out of that, if we can open Wikipedia, and there will be much more results here. So here is the Wikipedia website, and you can see that there are numbers of results. And for instance, if you draw or paint or know a thing or two about art, you might be able to build a site around artist supplies. So let's go over to Amazon and search artist supplies, and you can see that there are number of products, almost over 80,000 products. So there are a lot of ideas which you can get here. Or if you were a ham radio enthusiast in high school, you could possibly build a site around that. No matter what you are interested in, chances are a lot of people are also interested in that as well. You might want to check Amazon if there are products in that particular niche that are selling well, and if there are, chances are you might be able to build a site around it. You would want to remember that we are just in the idea generating phase right now, and every idea we generate in this phase will have to be subject to more stringent tests, which will be discussed later on in the section keyword research when we go there. It's also possible that even though you love something and consider yourself an expert on the topic, that niche might turn out to be extremely competitive and you may not be able to build a site in that niche. For example, if you have done a lot of research about weight loss pills and want to build a site around weight loss pills, the going may not be easy. It's highly competitive niche and you will be competing head on with billion-dollar companies. That is certainly not an easy thing to do unless you happen to be gifted in some unique way. By focusing on other people's hobbies and interests, you will be able to build a number of sites if a number of people love doing something, there is something inherently likable about it, and there are bound to be products you can sell in that niche as well. So that is a win-win situation for everyone. Every niche idea you generate must pass the three rules we discussed earlier. And in addition, you would want to check for seasonality and regional interest as well. Any idea that does not pass these initial tests must be weeded out, or else you might end up building a site that just does not perform well. Here are the three rules we discussed. So, rule number one, the niche should have scores upon scores of products being sold on Amazon. Most of these products should be selling for at least $50, and at least a handful of these should have more than 50 4 and 5-star reviews. Rule number 2, you should be comfortable with working in the niche for at least 3 to 4 months. Rule number 3, the niche should be big enough to support a site that's at least 50 to 100 pages in size. In addition, we will need to check for seasonality and regional interest as well. So let's search on Amazon for golf balls. So let's get to the first rule then. If we search for golf balls here and see what kind of results we will get, it should have several products selling on Amazon for at least $50, and several of these products must have at least 50 4 and 5-star reviews. Now we will have to go through this and look for at least a few products that cost around $50 and have at least 54 and 5-star reviews. So here is one of them. If we scroll down below, you see here is one of them. Here is another. As we can see, there are quite a few products that satisfy these criteria. That's sufficient for now. And for rule number 2, it's your personal opinion. If you can see yourself researching this niche and writing content for at least 3 to 4 months, then you can see rule number 2 is satisfied. If for some reason you dislike it and can't see yourself working in it, you can simply drop it and choose another. There is no depth of niches. So, does this niche satisfy rule number 3? Let's check with another tool which we have already discussed and see does this niche qualifies and pass the rule number 3 as well. So we will search in Google for ubersuggest.com. We will open ubersuggest.com and write golf balls in this text box here. So just now we will go to the keywords ideas and enter golf balls. This is what we want to see. Lots of phrases containing the phrase golf balls in them. Right now we are running a quick test and this is what we want to see. The tool is presenting us with a list of almost more than 550 keywords ideas, so we can conclude this is a niche that is big enough to support a site that's at least 50 to 100 pages in size. So let's now check seasonality and trends with Google Trends, which we have already discussed, and let's open Google Trends and write golf balls in search area. Here we will write golf balls and we select worldwide. You can see this graph is trending downwards, and seemingly the demand had been decreasing every year, but in 2020 the demand seems to have increased significantly. Scroll down and you will see the section labeled interest by region. The demand for golf balls is highest in the United States, and then the United Kingdom and Ireland, Australia and Canada. So let's now check for seasonality. We will select here United States from the drop down menu, and these are the trends for the past 5 years in the United States. While the demand increases significantly in the summer months, and in late December demand exists all year around. So this is not a seasonal niche. So the golf ball passes all the initial tests. Let's now check cheap golf balls under $10 and see whether this will satisfy the rules. While Amazon does have several golf balls selling for under $10, by our definition, the first rule cannot be satisfied, as you should be looking for products priced at around $50. So, rule number 3: is this niche big enough for a 50-page site? As you can see here, there are only 19 keywords idea here, so this rule is not satisfied. As for seasonality and regional interest, Google Trends does not display a graph. Instead, there is this message that says there is not enough data. There you can see. In fact, this is one of the best indicator that the net niche is not big enough to build a site around. If you see this message, when you run a search and Google Trends on Google Trends, you can conclude the niche is too small to build a site around. So you can possibly build a site around golf balls and have a single page about golf ball under $10. So let's now check with the belt buckles whether this will pass the three rules test. Let's go to Amazon and we will see that whether the belt buckles can pass the first rule and how many products we have over $50. So we are on Amazon page now and we will search belt buckles. The first thing you would want to know is that there are not a lot of products selling for around $50 on the first page. Most of these are selling for less than $20. That usually is not a good sign. Ideally, on the very first page, you should want to see at least a few products that are selling for $50 or more and have at least 50 4 and 5-star reviews. This is not the case for belt buckles. So there is, you can see that it's around $40, $47. So there is the $154. This is the one, and but not a lot of them on the first page. So let's, if we can check the second page as well and see what kind of result we will get. So we are on the second page now and you see the same results. This is the one, belt and not a belt buckle. So this is another selling for $35, but it has only 37 reviews. This one is selling for $45, but it has only 16 reviews. This is selling for $50, but has only 25 reviews. So things do not look very good on the second page either. Let's see page 3. There is one here. There is one here selling for more than $100, but it has only 13 reviews. So far, we have not found one product that meets our criteria at this stage. We can conclude that this niche we cannot build site around for this niche. We should not build a site around belt buckles. What this means is that this can be part of a much bigger niche site like a site around belts or men's accessories. We could build a site around men's accessories and include a section about belts for men in it. But we would not want to build a site exclusively around belt buckles. The products are priced way below the $50 mark that we are looking for. So let's see another example of knives and see whether this pass our tests. So let's go to Amazon and search for knives. So take a look at the options you are presented with. The results will be different based on the department you select. There are several kinds of knives like chef knives, kitchen utility knives, tactical knives, martial art knives, camping knives, and more limited tools to look for knives in the home and kitchen category. As you can see, there are lots of items with more than 1,000 4 and 5-star reviews. This means they are selling well. But there are not many knives selling for more than $50. But there are several knife sets that are selling for way more than $50. So let's do a search for knife sets instead and see what kind of results we will get. There are several products here that meets our criteria. If we can search for knife sets, because that is not a single product, this is a complete set and the price is as per our requirement. So if we can if we can go to the top and search for knife sets instead, this is the one you can see the knife sets. But yes, we have searched for knife sets and you can see there are several products here that meet our criteria. So rule number 1 is satisfied. You can build a site about knives and sell knife sets. That is possible. So let's see now whether this is a big enough niche to support a 50-page site. So let's again go to the ubersuggest.com and search for kitchen knives. So there are so many kinds of kitchen knives. The tool suggests almost 435 related phrases. So you can easily build a 50 to 100 page site in the niche, possibly much bigger. So now the final test, we want to check the seasonality and regional interest as well. And again we will go to the googletrends.com and search for kitchen knives. So let's select the worldwide option and see the trends for past 5 years. Demand for kitchen knife exists all year around the year, with the demand peaking during Christmas. These are the trends for 2020. Demand for kitchen knives seems to have increased significantly compared to the same period in the past. This may be because a lot of people are now working from home and possibly preparing food at home. If you scroll down below and see the regional interest section, as you can see, there is a lot of demand for kitchen knives in the United States and United Kingdom as well. This is not a season in which the demand increases pretty significantly during November and December, but demand exists all year around, so we can conclude the niche passed all of the initial tests. So let's head over to Amazon and do a search for another item and see what kind of result we get. We will search for Barbie toys and at the product selling for around $50 with at least 50 to 100 reviews. Let's check. So here is the one, here is another, here is one more. There are three results on the first page that satisfy rule number 1, so we can conclude rule number 1 is satisfied. Now for the second option, let's go to the Uber suggest and see whether this satisfies the third rule. This tool lists more than 306 keyword ideas, so the third rule is also satisfied. So finally, let's check the seasonality and regional interest. Let's check with the Google Trends what has to say about this, and we will go to the Google Trends and search for Barbie toys. Here we will select the worldwide, and for past 5 years, if you scroll down to the regional interest section, and you can see there is a lot of demand for this in the Philippines and other countries. These numbers Google gives here, these are calculated based on the total search queries for a region. So while interest in the Philippines and other countries is very high, this does not mean the demand in these countries is greater than the demand in the United States for Barbie toys. It is still possible the actual demand for Barbie doll in the United States is still much higher than in the other countries. But take a look at this graph. You see the spikes here. These spikes happen during the Christmas shopping season. So if we can scroll down above, we will see the graph and what we are discussing. There you can see the spikes happen during the Christmas shopping season. So let's check for the year 2019. We will select the full year 2019 from here drop down menu and search. So demand exists this all year around, but it is very significant during December. These spikes may make this seems like a seasonal niche, but demand exists all year around for Barbie toys. You would want to notice the difference in demand pattern between Barbie toys and Halloween costumes. For Halloween costumes, the demand exists only just prior to Halloween. The rest of the time, it's almost zero. So that's not the case with Barbie toys, but there is a seasonal pattern to this image when you come across, and it's like this. You would want to make a note of the seasonal pattern of the demand and keep that in mind while doing the keyword research. That should you build a site around Barbie toys, you can't say that until you have done the keyword research, which we will discuss in the next section as well. There you can see the Halloween costume, that the demand is only for the particular season, and for the rest it's nothing. If these are the past 5 year results. and you can see that for Barbie toys it's not like that. There are spikes here. So finally let's search snow blowers on Amazon. So take a look at the products that are listed here. Every one of them is priced more than $50 and many are selling for more than $200. So there are many items here with more than 54 and 5-star reviews. So that is clearly satisfies the first rule. There you can see that the prices are way more than what we are looking for. So let's now check with Uber Suggest, and the total returns almost 482 covered areas. So rule number 3 is satisfied as well for this niche. So let's go to the Google Trends and see the seasonality and regional interest. These are worldwide trends. If we can search here, snowblowers, and select worldwide from this menu and select past 5 years. These spikes in the graph indicates seasonality. Scroll down to the regional interest section. Demand exists mostly in the United States and Canada. Let's see what the demand pattern was like. Here we can see there you can see the most demand is in the Canada and United States here. So let's see what the demand pattern was like in 2019. We will select from this drop down menu. And as you can see, demand exists only from mid-January to the end of February and from mid-November to December. So this is a seasonal niche site, and will make money mostly during 3 to 4 months in the year. For the rest of the year, it might have very little traffic and few sales, if any. You would also want to know that these are expensive, with each unit selling for around between $200 to $500, so your commission per sale is going to be high as well. Should you build a site in this niche? The answer depends on you. If you are okay with the site making money mostly for these 3 to 4 months in a year, then you might want to go ahead and do the keyword research. There you can see that the demand is only for the certain months. Thanks for watching and keep watching my channel for more videos.